Hi, I'm Scott and you're watching Your Experience Guide. It's been a while since I've done a Blackpool Pleasure Beach speculation and rumour video, but here we go again. The Grand Prix has now been removed. Well, it's been removed for a couple of weeks. So what's going to replace it? Well, of course, there's lots of rumours. There's always rumours at Blackpool Pleasure Beach about rides coming in, rides getting removed, this happening, that happening. It's probably the most talked about park as far as rumours go in the UK. Whether those rumours come true, we never know until they actually happen or just never happen, but there's always rumours. For example, Wallace and Gromit refurb of the gold mine. First heard about that in 2004, happened in 2013. Back in the 2000s, everyone was talking about a Superman roller coaster out to sea. Never happened. From about 2008-9, everyone was talking about a Mack launch coaster. Happened in 2018. Rumours are always there at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Whether they're going to happen or not, we always just have to wait and see. And once again, we're in that situation now with what will replace the Grand Prix. On the subject of rumours, last December on this channel, I put a video out there saying that the Grand Prix was closed and would be replaced. That's happened. In that video, I also said that Ice Blast would be potentially removed at the end of this year. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. It has been closed all season, as I'm sure everybody knows. However, it does look like they are working on it. All the blue piping that was taken out of it a couple of weeks ago can be found on the car park in pieces. They've got scaffolding up on it. They appear to be repainting it. They wouldn't be repainting it if they were going to remove it. So it looks like the decision has been taken to refurb it and keep Ice Blast. So we've all speculated on what big rides could replace the Grand Prix. Could it be an Intamin coaster like Red Force? Could it be a Vekoma tilt coaster? Could it be an Intamin gyro swing? Could it be this? Could it be that? Could it be all these thrill coasters that are out there? But what if it's a family coaster? Well, there's plenty of options that they could pick from, and that is what I'm going to look at in this video, because I have done videos about potential thrill rides that they could replace it with, including things like Red Force at Ferrari Land, Ride to Happiness at Plopsaland. Rides like that have been rumoured to be going in that space as far as like 2 or 3 years ago, but there is also now a lot of rumours that it could be a family roller coaster, and that is going to be the focus of this video. The obvious place for me to start in terms of coaster manufacturers is with Mack Rides. Now, we all know about the good working relationship between Blackpool Pleasure Beach and Mack Rides, but we also all know about the good relationship between the Thompson family and the Mack family, which goes back a long way, and we've seen it mentioned many a time in different articles, different documentaries and different things. So I think that it's a good place to start. And also, Mack Rides have such a catalogue of different rides that Blackpool Pleasure Beach could build, which will be classed as a family coaster. But what I'm going to focus on today is the modern Mack powered roller coaster. In recent times, parks like Europa Park, Efteling, De Heer Summerland and Tivoli Gardens have all put in modern Mack powered coasters, which are suitable for families. Yes, they only have one train, but they have a lot of seats on those trains. They don't rely on a lift hill. They don't rely on an LSM launch system like Icon's got, so they can fit into pretty much any space. And we're talking about a big empty space in the Pleasure Beach. And we're talking about a ride that used to spiral back on itself, something that these Mack powered coasters are known for doing, having long drawn out helixes. And I could just imagine one of these fitting into the space using the Grand Prix station, coming out of the station, going straight into a helix, and using the footprint that's been left behind by the Grand Prix, and perhaps going as far as towards the big one. The Grand Prix leaves behind a big space at the Pleasure Beach. Obviously, it had quite a compact space for the spirally bits of it, but also it ran all the way up towards the big one and back round past Icon's queue line and back into the spirals. Now, when you look at the space that's been left behind by this attraction, you realise just how much space Blackpool Pleasure Beach have got to work with. And I could definitely see them looking at one of the Mack powered coasters to fill this space, and they could maybe do a dueling one. I don't know if they would. I don't know if they've got the foot space for a station to do a dueling one, but I certainly think they've got the space to do a singular one and use the existing Grand Prix station building, put some air gates in there, modify it, have a big long train, and all of a sudden you've replaced a family ride with a family coaster, with the capacity being probably about 100% better than it was on the Grand Prix. Moving on from Mack to Intamin. Of course, Intamin have recently, as recent as this year, put in a brand new family roller coaster at Drayton Manor, Gold Rush, which has received rave reviews from people. People are saying it's the best family roller coaster in the UK. That is, of course, open for debate. But at the end of the day, it's a very popular roller coaster. It's got a low height restriction. It uses the space well. It goes forwards, backwards. It's got launches. It's got modern technology. And it has been proven to be a very popular roller coaster so far. This is something, again, that could fit in the Grand Prix space. Something that they could have switch tracks, have it going forwards, backwards. Maybe a drop track section like 13. Who knows? But definitely one of these coasters could fit the space that the Grand Prix has left behind. And something that we saw at IAAPA in Orlando a couple of weeks ago was the way that Intamin are developing the multi-dimensional coaster with trick tracks, drop tracks, all these different things that 10 years ago that you probably wouldn't imagine that roller coasters would be able to do. But we've seen with things like Uncharted, with 13, with Hagrid's, what Intamin can do with these multi-dimensional roller coasters with different types of trains on them. And one of those would definitely fit in the Grand Prix space with a custom layout. Moving on to Vekoma, and they have got a huge catalogue of different family roller coasters that could fit into the Pleasure Beach. You've got the family boomerang model, and again, I can see how the current Grand Prix station could be used for something like that. That could be the loading area, the offload area, and then you could have the backwards lift hill going out of the station towards where the monorail station used to be, and then going forward, back through the station, and using that big bit of space left behind by the Grand Prix spirals. Of course, this coaster probably wouldn't be as long as, say, an Intamin or a Mack coaster, but it would still be a decent use of the space, better capacity than the Grand Prix was, and a good, thrilling coaster with a low height restriction for families to experience together. There is, of course, many more options that Pleasure Beach could go with, from Mack, Intamin, Vekoma, Zamperla, Sierra, other manufacturers out there. There is so many options for family roller coasters that Pleasure Beach could replace the Grand Prix with. And to be honest, if they do go with a family coaster, it's going to have better capacity than the Grand Prix, and that is definitely a good thing at the Pleasure Beach. Whilst I would love to see a thrill coaster, a modern thrill coaster, put in at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, I am expecting to see a family roller coaster replace the family attraction Grand Prix. But at the minute, nothing has been announced by the Pleasure Beach, so it's an interesting time to speculate it, look what they could do, talk about what we've heard from various sources about what they're going to do with that space. And this is always the best time to be a Blackpool Pleasure Beach fan, when they start clearing a big space and we can all start speculating, is it going to be a roller coaster, is it going to be a flat ride, or is it just going to stay empty? It's always fun to speculate about these things. And now I'm going to pass it over to you and ask you what you would like to see Blackpool Pleasure Beach replace the Grand Prix with. So please, let me know in the comments section below. What do you think they should replace the Grand Prix with? And have you heard any rumours about what they're going to do with the space? That's all from me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It's a little thumbs up below. Please subscribe to Your Experience Guide. Many thanks for watching. See you next time.